Hello. I think I'm live. Normally I sorry. Normally I have to click something to make the game start. Like I've been streaming Lobotomy and you click to make the main menu load properly. Hello, chat. We are doing the boss tier ranking, and before I forget, I'm gonna make the music start because it sounds very awkward just talking to myself. So tell me if the music is too loud. We're starting with Hell's Chicken music. You will receive no compensation for any emotional damage you receive. And frankly, my opinions probably differ fairly well from yours. This tier list maker was made by Stimmer, who will eventually probably show up in the chat. And as you can see, there's a few duplicates, which I will be keeping out of the rankings. I moved everything that was a duplicate or things that are just not boss fights, like Chief Guard and Big Robot, to the bottom so that we don't accidentally put them in the list. But we'll be going over every single fight in the order that they were released. So the last fight released would be Fairy Festival Hard, because it's actually different from the normal one. And other rule, I'm going to be mostly going on the actual, like, gimmicks of the fight and how the fight plays. I'm not gonna count story as much, because story makes certain bosses just automatically go to the top, and that's never fun. So an A-tier boss is a boss that has a gimmick, basically. Is, like, fun to play, and the gimmick matters to me, essentially. Which, obviously, that's not always going to be something people are going to agree with. So, with each boss, I'm also going to I'm going to rank it based on every appearance that it has, not just its first appearance. So, like, when bosses have varying appearances that have different gimmicks, I'll count them all as one thing. With very few exceptions. There's like 2 exceptions, and you can probably see both of them right now just by looking at the screen. So anyways, yeah, with story, Gas Harpoon is easily an S tier boss fight, but that fight has problems. So to start, we have, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, chat, I'm going based on whether or not the game considers it a boss. The game considers Head Hooligan to be a boss fight. Does anybody even know where this fight, what stage this fight is in? Because I don't. Oh god, I'm dropping frames. What's going on? Hopefully that fixes it. Now when it comes to, like, what he actually does, Head Hooligan literally does nothing. This might as well not be a boss fight. Everybody's just yelling at me to put him in S. He's in, like, 1-5. This is the game's first boss. What does he do? Nobody knows. Early levels of Kanto 2 or 3? Does he show up in Kanto 2? Is he one of the first 2 fights in Kanto 2? I mean, regardless, he goes in C, because I can't realistically say that he's a bad fight. He has 2 skills, and neither of them are, like, easy to lose against. So I'll just put him in C. A lot of these human fights, I don't have much to say about, as you can probably guess. Also, please tell me if the music is too loud or too quiet. Same goes for G-Corp Manager. I mean, he's probably better than Head Hooligan. He just kind of exists. He doesn't do much. It's not that big of a thing, just in general. And so I don't really have anything to say about him. Now, as for, like, the first... Let's be honest, the first real boss fight... Ebony Stem probably leaves a lot to be desired. Its entire gimmick is that, like, as the fight goes on, you become slower. Hey, Stimmer. This is the guy that made the tier list. But yeah, his entire gimmick is that as the fight goes on, you get slower until the abnormality check, where it's basically impossible to fail the check, and if you beat the check, you don't get slower anymore. This fight doesn't really do much. I can't really put it anywhere other than B, because it doesn't do anything. You know? This is like the most mid of mid bosses ever, in fact. Now Doomsday Calendar, I'll give Doomsday Calendar a little bit of credit. It at least has a gimmick, and it executes that gimmick decently well. It's obviously really easy. I probably would say that Doomsday Calendar, of all the bosses in, like, the first 3 chapters, is probably the most interesting mechanically. The fight itself is mostly just, like, repeated, you know, it's repeated just killing minions, which is a problem with a lot of early game boss fights. I would put it above Ebony Stem, though. It's definitely a B tier fight, in my opinion. Now, Reclaimed G-Corp Head Manager has 2 appearances. You fight him in I think the 3rd floor or the 2nd floor of the Kanto 1 dungeon. And in that fight, he's, like, just slightly harder than the normal G-Corp Manager. But he also is in the first fight of Railway 1. And that fight is genuinely interesting because you have to, like, you know, play the game. Yo, thank you for the 5 coffee. I appreciate it. You're just gonna do this every time I stream, huh? And honestly, I think that appearance by itself, to me, I don't think it's A tier. But that first railway fight, I'd honestly say it goes above Doomsday Calendar. This is, like, this is the big thing about this list, is that I'm ranking all of their appearances at once. As long as they're, like, the main target of the fight. And so, we put Reclaim Manager above Doomsday Calendar, because he is just a better fight altogether. False Apple... False Apple... False Apple is like Ebony Stem, but less interesting, honestly. It's harder, specifically in Rail... No, he's not in Railway. Specifically in Mirror Dungeon. Doomsday sucks in Mirror Dungeon? I agree, which is why he's not going any higher. Specifically in Mirror Dungeon, False Apple becomes a lot harder. Isn't he called Recollected? Oh yeah, that's true. His name is different from the rest for some reason. In Mirror Dungeon, he's at least a little more interesting, but he's still not really, like, a fight altogether. The only thing is he has a skill that can win clashes against you, really. It has a mechanic, still a C, maybe even B. Yeah, I wouldn't put it above Doomsday Calendar. It kind of just exists, in my opinion. So I would put it, like, there. It's really not that interesting of a fight, all things considered. What is False Apple's mechanic? If you break its head, it becomes immobilized for a turn. That's it. And once you break the body in phase 1, it goes into phase 2. It heals, but it never gets to heal. How are you, Gorp? Good to see you. Okay. Ting Tang boss has a gimmick. He's got that skill that makes it so that all of his coins land heads for a turn. He's still not interesting, C tier. I have nothing to say about him. He's so trash. I'd even probably... No, because I don't remember any gimmicks in these two, so I'll just put him at the top of C for now. I don't know, but it tries to do something once it becomes an egg. Yeah, but that's, like, story-related, so it doesn't count. Ida on release was funny. Actually, to be fair, Ida is still probably one of the hardest human fights in the game. I remember when I first did the fight at 218, she killed 2 of my sinners in a single turn. I kind of want to put her at the bottom of A tier, because Pinata Party is hilarious and will kill you. It's genuinely, like, of all the human fights in the game, it's one of the most interesting ones. It's either at the bottom of A or the top of B. Pitnika S. Why? He is attractive. I'm not gonna do that, but thank you for the 6 shekels? That's shekels. I think we'll put her at the top of B for now. We're not gonna get to the good fights for a while, to be fair, chat. Imagine if we had, like, this Pinata Party for Mariachi Sinclair, and how cool that would be. Funny interaction with Ting Tang Boy, there was an upgrade that made you always roll heads in Mirror Dungeon 2 every 3rd turn, and he clashed with someone with the same coin power, and it was awkward. Oh. Yeah, that can happen. Nah? Yeah, Ida is the, like, first gatekeep boss, for some reason. I hate the robot. Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves. He's going in D. Don't worry. I hate this thing just as much as everyone else does. It's literally just fight the same 3 enemies 4 times each the fight. And it is not fun. Its gimmick is, if you pass the checks, it becomes shorter. And in no way is that entertaining. He's going to super hell. Now, that being said, if you do know how the fight works, you can, like, minimize the turn count, but nothing about the fight is interesting in any way. And so I can't justifiably put him any higher than D. I do not love the city I live in. He's a great background thing. He's the only one with an interactable background. That's all he has. The only point it gets is for the music, and speaking of, I think this is one of the songs that has an extended version. No, that's C1. Hold on. I can change the music. This one's grating on me already. Let's see. I can't play Millie theme, obviously. Canto 4 battle theme C1 seems a little bit hectic for this. Canto 2 battle theme C1, that's it. There, we'll loop this theme for a while. Since we just talked about him. The only good thing about Beat Hurley is the music and then the remix someone made with a hardware store. I didn't even know about that. Play the Ruina OST event menu. The problem is I don't know what themes have been extended on YouTube. And this one isn't even extended, it's just the fight. Pink Shoes is just a fight? That's so true. Believe it or not, it has a unique debuff that it can inflict. I'll at least give it credit for being harder than the human fights. But aside from that, he's not going anywhere above C. to score goals victoriously. Yeah, there was the whole soccer debacle. I think this is where he belongs. I don't really think it's that interesting of a fight. The only thing that it does is that in mirror dungeons, sometimes he rolls too high. Which is a problem with all mirror dungeons. Can we put Baba Yaga in A, please? It's underwhelming as a Kanto boss, but it's a nice fight. I like it. It's barely a boss fight. Like, we're not going to get anything that ranks super high until we get into the later fights, honestly. You mean football? Sorry, I'm an American. Yes, I mean foosball. But this is another... You know what's the most annoying part about Baba Yaga? Is because you've been fighting the enemies that you fight in the boss fight anyways. It's not like Hurtley, where at least the main enemy is new. Literally every enemy in the fight you've already seen. I'm putting it in the bottom of D. This fight sucks. 4 waves of dudes that roll too, Pog. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the entire fight. And it's so awful. Like, genuinely. And putting him any higher than B, or any higher than D, is just a no. Absolutely not. This is not going to be a long stream, by the way. I might do, like, a different tier list after this one, just so people can stick around for a bit. Guido. That's an A tier. So, when I think of Guido, I specifically think of the fight at 318. And specifically, when you bring Sinclair, it's a genuinely fun fight. It's the first fight where the boss enemy messes with your sanity. And that's cool, because it's, like, an additional hazard you need to consider. What do you mean, what? There's nothing wrong with putting Guido in A. The instant stagger is annoying. That's, like... The thing keeping me from putting it in S tier is the instant stagger. Any boss fight that has something like that, I'm always going to put a little lower. Don't expect an S tier boss fight for a while, by the way. They're just not gonna happen. He doesn't do that, the environment does. Yeah, but it's only his fight. Well, I guess there are a couple of grunt fights that do that, but... V1 plus 50% damage when Fnatic in the center is blunt weak. He's a decent enough human fight. That's the thing you have to also consider, is that this is the bottom of A, not the top of A. He's just the only A tier boss so far. And he doesn't really do that much, but he does have that one gimmick. You also have to fight him like 4 times in the main story. His railway fight isn't any more interesting. I think, actually, the railway fight is worse, to be honest with you. This is specifically Kanto 3 Dungeon Floor 1 boss. Crawling Inquisitors. Or whatever it's called. Ruined by being in Wave 69. He's in, like, Wave 3? Will be the first fight put in S. You'll see. These guys, I have a hard time ranking these guys because the problem with them is that they're easy. They're certainly a fight, that's true. I don't know, maybe like here, I'd say. It's nice because you can actually plan out how the fight will go. Or you can just go full into it and make it hard on yourself. But you can, like, plan it out. It's got a gimmick that's easy to play around. And I can at least give it that. So... Oh, they have unique targeting? Really? I didn't even know that. The one where there are 4 dogs is nice? Is there one with 4? I don't remember. All Inquisitor fights are kind of meh. Okay, so here's where we get into the first fight that's, like, interesting. This is the everything there of an Inquisitor token. This includes Sacristy, the room everyone loves, and the node in Railway 1 that has this enemy type. They're essentially the same. Now, y'all are probably going to disagree with me on this, because especially if you watched me play this fight live, or watched the stream VOD of it that's on my channel, it goes in A tier. This is a fight that you actually have to, like, pay attention to the things that are happening in it. Oh, it's absolutely not the worst fight of Railroad 1. Don't lie to yourself. Just do not lie to yourself about that. That fight is easy? I wouldn't say it's hard, but it makes you think, because if you are, like, letting them hit you, they can roll insanely high, do a lot of damage, heal themselves. Like, it makes you use your brain at all, and that is why it goes where it goes. Me when I use ego on the counter. Yeah, that too. The counter is funny, because it also drains your SP. Rip space the counter and you are dead? Not if you kill them. Me when I use Mind Whip on him and he kills Ishmael. You know that the best way to do that railway fight is to use 4th Match Flame Rhodia to inflict Wrath Fragility? Because they're already weak to Wrath. And Mind Whip shreds these guys. I see myself talking with Kim. Oh, really? Is that true, Carmen? Alright. But yeah, I put him in A tier. This is the actual worst fight of Railway 1. Slithering Inquisitor is so awful to fight. He barely has a gimmick. It really stinks because destroying the arms cancels your attacks for the turn. The arms can regenerate if you somehow don't kill them fast enough. I don't know how that would happen. And once you get into phase 2, he's just on a timer. The best thing I can say about Slithering Inquisitor is that in Kanto 3's dungeon, where he's the boss of floor 2, by the way, he's just alone and dies really quickly. And so he's not super annoying there. But unfortunately, he goes in C tier because of how obnoxious he is in Railway and how obnoxious he is in Mirror Dungeon, which are the two places you're going to see him the most. So, I really hate that fight, chat. Genuinely one of the worst fights ever. It regens? Yeah, if you don't kill the second arm within 3 turns of the first one, the first arm comes back with as much HP as the second one. I don't know why they made it like that, but it does regenerate as long as you don't destroy both. I don't see Doubt Robots below. That's because the Doubt Robots aren't a boss fight. They're just an enemy battle. Cromer. Cromer... I can put Cromer in A. Cromer's phase 1 is a little slow because she's really tanky, but at least there's, like, stuff to do in it. Phase 2 is just decent as a fight. So observation log is freaky. I don't know, I haven't read it. The Cromer fight on release was fun. I didn't get to do it on release, actually. I got to do it while it was bugged after the first set of updates. But I put her in high A. It was 3 turns. I always thought that it was the next turn. I don't know. I never had it happen, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna put Cromer in high A for now. I might raise her later. Phase 2 isn't just Unga Bunga the arms, though. That's the thing. In Railway, yes, because that's how you do all fights in Railway. In Story, you have to stagger the mouth once it gives you that option. And so that's what you would do, and that's, like, encourages you to, like, pay attention to what's going on. And so I like being rewarded. That's all I can really say about her. But are you infected? No. Alleyway Watchdog? Oh yeah, I'm ignoring the Enclair effect at the end of Kanto 3, because I think that's cheese. Alleyway Watchdog. Alleyway Watchdog, believe it or not, has a lot of gimmicks that you almost never get to see because most people just kill the head. I will say, Alleyway Watchdog is one of the first fights that, like, encourages you to be aggressive. In a way that other bosses don't really do. Did they remove the dog from Mirror Dungeons? No, they didn't. It's still in Mirror Dungeons. It's a floor 4 boss in a few packs. It is another fight that does have low floor, high ceilings. Even though the high ceilings don't really exist. Okay, so for those who don't know, the gimmicks. First off, if you destroy the telepole, all of its attacks for the current turn get cancelled. If you attack the telepole, he inflicts you with lightning. Lightning is a status effect that isn't really seen at all. Basically what lightning does is it's just rupture, but it doesn't decay on hit. It just decays all at end of turn. And you can inflict it to him during the fight from something. I don't remember what. And as the fight continues, if you don't stagger the head will just keep using more and more AoEs, which does encourage you to, like, clash. Next turn too? Does it? I thought it was only current turn because, oh well. It's, technically it's better Rupture, but you don't really get to see it at all. The fight itself, though, isn't that interesting. You don't get to do much during it. Most of the time, you can win the fight in a couple turns just by full attacking the body every turn. I would say, like, here. Maybe below Ida, even. I really like Alleyway Watchdog's design, but I really don't think the fight is very interesting at all. Did it also not gain power with some debuffs? I don't recall. I'm happy with Baba Yaga's placement. I think everybody is. Never understood this Seala because I've killed it too fast. The what? I think mid B is acceptable for him. Hey, Startup, how are you? So, Headless Ichthys. Did you know that Headless Ichthys has an in-battle abnormality check? Because I didn't until Mirror Dungeon 2 Hard came out, where I got it as the 3rd floor boss and was in that fight for half an hour because of how obnoxious it is. I don't even remember what the check does. They made a fish that is worse than all the other fish. I wouldn't be too sure about that. What? Yeah, I know, right? Nobody knows. The check occurs at, like, turn 9. I don't know. It has, it uses an AoE on turn... No, it's not even an AoE. It uses Blood Cannon on turn 3. Twice. And then, after the check, it uses Clotting, which is a 20 to 25 5-target AoE that inflicts 30 bleed. Nobody gets to see that because usually the fight just ends before then. Headless Ichthys is... Yeah, it's so late into the fight as well. Alleyway Watchdog also has a check? Well, that one I've never seen. If If you win, the sack will break. If you lose, it will use AoE version of Blood Cannon called Clotting. Yeah. It's so hard to get to it. Breaking the body, making it so that deals damage to you is a little annoying. Generally, though, I do think... Wiki, if the body was staggered, an abnormality event is triggered on the turn it recovers from stagger. If the skill check is passed, the body takes a variable amount of damage, causing it to break. Oh. That would explain why I didn't see it for so long, because usually you just attack the arms and the tail. I would say it's probably just a better version of the Alleyway Watchdog fight. And there's not much else to that. I like Headless Ichthus a lot. Like, the starting Mirror Dungeon bosses I do like, but honestly, it's not... I'll put it at the top of B. I shall roll 16 with 6 skills every turn. It doesn't roll that high. It rolls 13. Yeah, there's no more tiny fish, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Big fish is nice because you can use it as a pillow. Okay. Only this version has the check. I guess it's Mirror Dungeon exclusive? I don't know why it would be in the Lexcavations anyways. Papa Bongi is peak. Let's be honest. Let's not lie to ourselves. Papa Bongi is a peak fight. A fight that the boss can summon minions, but the minions aren't so intrusive that they're dangerous. It has SP mechanics, in that the minions deal SP damage to you for some reason. You can break the part that summons things. It does a lot of damage. You like getting one-shot? It doesn't one-shot people, usually. And depending on how many chickens you kill before breaking the chicken basket, it can become very much easier. It doesn't really make you think. Spiced up Papa Bongi doesn't really matter because it's just Papa Bongi with one attack power up every turn. One of the best boss designs in Limbus. It's a very good fight. I just wish that grinding it wasn't so obnoxious. You cannot win rate it because of that 4-coin move and damage up. Yeah, he does a lot of damage. It's true. And to be honest, probably the best fight. What? Is it the best fight of Season 1? I have no idea. Let's find out. He's goofy, he's strong, you just can't go wrong, Papa Bongi for best boss. I wouldn't say he's the best boss in the game, but he's certainly a pretty good fight. Okay, I'm gonna change the music again. The middle boss fight theme? Maybe not. Let's go... Somebody said Canto 6 theme 1. Canto 6 battle theme V1. Somebody requested. Sure. Alright. See event menu? I don't... No. Maybe later. Glupo, also known as Blubbering Toad. Blubbering Toad is like the SP boss. Did you know that he has an AoE that he can use? He uses an AoE if you don't destroy one of the eyes by the 3rd turn or something like that. But honestly, this fight is peak. Is it better than Papa Bongi? I don't know if it's better than Papa Bongi. I don't like this theme. Limbus Company, C event menu, C theme. There we go. I see why you wanted it. Really? Yeah. Glubo is a good boss fight. You don't get to see a lot of what he does because once you break one of the eyes, he just kind of stops attacking a lot. But the fight itself is pretty good. He's an AoE with unique clash animation. He was the first, in fact. Believe it or not. Check Discord. Why? But you didn't send anything. Kanto 2 battle theme A1. That's like the casino fight theme. We'll keep it on this for a little bit. If you win the clash with it, all of their other skills are cancelled. Oh, really? I didn't know that. But it's easier to just destroy the eyes. The eyes being broken does also deal a lot of SP damage to you. Usually you can get through the fight by just killing one of the eyes and then attacking that slot forever. I kind of wish the eyes were severable instead of destructible. It would make the fight a lot more interesting. Did you also know that all of its body parts gain protection equal to the amount of eyeballs it has left? But genuinely, it's a pretty good fight. And as... Oh, no, I saw it. I saw it earlier when you pinged me. Yeah, I like Lupo. Kanto 5 boss theme? Isn't that Compass? I can't play Compass. It'll get the stream demonetized. But yeah, Glupo deserves a spot in S tier, easily. What a Morbius sentence? What? KQE dash whatever, also known as the town robot, is not very interesting. His gimmick is, once he gets enough charge, he uses a skill that traps one of your sinners. And while the sinner is trapped, they can't do anything. And if you let him do that 3 times, he summons a minion. Did you know that this was the case? Yeah, he's a joke now. When he first came out, he was just a damage sponge. He's more interesting now. But he's just kind of really meh. Honestly, I would put him, like, here. I like his design. C rank, easy to bully. You know what? That's fair. I'll put him at the top of C. He's not that interesting. He puts you in gay baby jail. Yeah, I'm referring to the heart, yeah. You break the heart and he becomes staggered. I'm talking about the heart when I say a minion. Wow, I have a lot of delay. What the heck? I did drop a few frames earlier, but I didn't realize it got that bad. Wow. He's just an evade tutorial? It's not even really that, because most evades don't outroll the thing. If you win a clash against his grabbing thing when he uses it the second time, then it summons its heart. Is that how it works? I know it does use one of those eventually, that you can clash with. Okay. Kanto 6 boss 3 theme. Oh, you mean the Nelly theme. Okay. Heart gimmick was made exclusively for Railway 1. Pretty much. He's just a pushover now. The duo fight with Headless Ichthys and Alleyway Watchdog, I'm including separately because it's genuinely different. It's just both of them together. And they're both slightly weaker as a result. I'd really like to see more fights like this. I want to see more fights where it's just 2 similar abnormalities together. I do think that it's probably better than either of them by themselves. But I don't think it's that interesting. Thought Ichthys and Watchdog was awesome when I did it. The problem with Ichthys plus Watchdog is you can end the fight pretty consistently in 2 turns. It's a really easy fight, but it is cool. We do need more Abno tag teams. Sign of roses and my form empties at the same time. What, the roses gain karma? That sounds horrible, actually. But yeah, they were a little random, and they're really not that much different. Aside from Ichthys doing most of the attacks until it dies. It's someone's OTP? Yo, so true. Actually. My form empties. I don't think anybody's gonna argue with me putting it at the top of S for now. It's genuinely one of the most interesting fights we've gotten in all of Limbus so far. It's got at least a bit of difficulty when you fight it in Mirror Dungeon and the Railway. Actually, in the Railway, it's just kind of long. But in Mirror Dungeon, it's got a little bit of difficulty. It's like got a gimmick that you can actually play with, and it doesn't ever feel boring to fight it. I do think that at the end of Mirror Dungeon 3 Hard, when the minions only had like 150 health, was a little weird. But aside from that, it's just a good fight. And there's really no arguing with that, to be honest. Okay, everybody's favorite boss fight, Brazen Bull. Where do we put Brazen Bull, chat? I want to hear your opinions on this before I talk about it. Really quite short in comparison to the rest of Railroad 1 if you ran Arcliff. I mean, yeah, but most fights are. I hate it. I just text thinking on it, lol. C, I love the bull, I can't lie. Make an F tier just for him. D, C, Sinking Deluge, C, C, B, Z, alright, start up. D, E is not a tier. D, put me in an actual Brazen Bull before I fight it again. C, worse than a regular human fight. So, the gimmick with Brazen Bull is to win clashes against its one skill so that its head pops out, then you destroy the head, staggering it and allowing you to deal more damage. Or you could just use Sinking. Brazen Bull's big problem is that it rolls too high. Like, this fight, I can see what they were trying to do, but it's awful to fight in story. It's not fun in Mirror Dungeon, it's just kind of another damage sponge. Honestly, I'd put it, like, here. I like its ego a lot, but it's just not fun to fight, ever. No one knows that because you fight it in Mirror Dungeon where it rolls way too high and you're forced to spam ego. Yeah. It rolls way too high for what it does. Brazen Bull kind of rolls too high and the damage sponges a lot and it's so boring to fight. I wish there was, like, easier ways to interact with its gimmicks. Also, did you know it has SP effects? Are these including Mirror Dungeon or just when you meet them in story? I'm including all fights against that particular enemy. Bull is the reason why Uptide Ford Fluid Sack Dawn. Oh boy. Tremor Man is also certainly a fight. Tremor Man just kind of exists, honestly. Oh god. Didn't mean to scroll like that. Nico doesn't really do anything. He's another human fight where you don't really get to notice his presence. He rolls high. Like, here, I guess. I don't know, Nico doesn't do much, to be honest with you. Gets cute boy tier. Does he? What is his name is Nico. Yeah. Gerberman has some super sick mechanics, not gonna lie, but they don't matter in gameplay since the fight is so easy. Yeah, he's got, like, vibration compression. I don't even know what they're called. I saw shrimp. I don't know why that's there, to be honest with you. Yeah, he doesn't do anything. The man inflicts a ton of paralysis. Yeah. Did you know he has a negative coin move? Yes, I did, actually. Yeah, he's just not that interesting, like most human boss fights. Actually, you know what? I'm putting him below these two, because those two actually have a gimmick. That's a dude? Correct. Nico is a man. I at least noticed Nico's sprite, unlike Madison here, where I fought twice and also didn't remember. Yeah, anybody like me and got to the Mariel fight in story and didn't even notice he was a boss until, like, the third turn he was on screen. He's super forgettable. Even though his skills genuinely roll pretty high and are usually pretty threatening, he's just so forgettable that I can't put him any higher than this. Like, normally I only go off of what the fight is like, but I don't even remember what the fight is like. And so he goes in C tier. He doesn't do anything. I noticed him because I was underleveled. You know what? That's fair. Notice he was a boss and all his minions were dead, and he was still standing with like 400 HP. He has so little story presence, yeah. What's this tier list about? Interestingness. If I did it by difficulty, you would see almost nothing in S tier. Because I don't think any of the bosses in this game are super difficult. His name was Madison? No, his name was Mariel. Should have just been Ran, since it would have given her something to do other than suicide bombing for no reason after 2 scenes. Yeah, probably. Sun Shower Dong Bake. Chat. So Sun Shower Dong Bake is one of the only bosses with a panic effect that helps her, believe it or not. Because she has a lot of negative coin skills, and her panic effects make her gain attack power up and bind. But her hitting panic staggers her for some reason. Okay, my main complaint with Sun Shower Dung Bake is that it's too easy. The gimmicks in the fight are fine. Did you know she inflicts poison? With one of her skills, with her AoE, she inflicts poison. I'll put her at, like, the bottom of A tier. But I don't think that this fight is very good. It's too easy. The gimmicks on it are fine, but you don't get to notice a lot of them. It's just... if she was a little more threatening, then it would be fine. Yeah, she inflicts poison. Nobody knows this, because everybody's only done this fight once. And also, it's one of the only fights not in Mirror Dungeon 4. I've seen plenty of people struggle with her. I've only seen people struggle with the second one. I'm changing the music. Somebody said... what was it? Canto 4 C1. Okay, Canto 4 C1 is way too energetic for this. I'll do Canto 4 Theme B1. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay. I'll do B1. C1 is a little too energetic for this. Spice Bush is absolutely an S tier fight. Now the question is, where in S tier does it go? This isn't where I'm putting it. This is just, like, where I'm sticking it for now. S Spice Bush music for... okay, fine. Boss 1 theme. There, you get Spice Bush music while we talk about Spice Bush. Is the tier list link public? Yeah, it's public. You can probably just ask Stimmer to link it. Below MFE? I think that's fair. Above Glupo tied with Bongi? I want to put her above Papa Bongi. Because for the first 7-person fight, it was actually genuinely pretty good. I know that Sun Shower is also 7-person fight. I just realized you fight the Technology Liberation Alliance Abnos in Kanto 4, that's why they're there. Yeah. First place, MFE can be cheesed a lot more easily, but Dongbek has damage gates. I don't think that MFE is a worse fight than Spice Bush. Spice Bush is at least cool. She has that thing where if people get 3 or more of her debuff, they become trapped. And she also does the dueling thing, which is fun. The fight itself is another fight where it's just, like, high rolling. Now, that being said, I do think that it's good enough to be up in S tier, easily. And that's because of the mass attack she uses that gains power for every plant that's alive. Do anyone know she has Dazzled Mind effect? Yeah, I did. Must cover with dirt. Yeah, that. She can cause friendly fire. It's so true. Yeah, she definitely deserves to be an S. Zombie Mariel, top of D tier. Nobody even noticed he was a fight. It's technically a different enemy from normal Mariel. But I'm not putting it any higher because it's so ridiculously easy. Doesn't allow me to put links in chat? Okay. I'll link it after the stream is over then. You can link it in the Discord though if you want. He comes back? Yeah. He's on the node directly before so that no one may cry. Just realized something. They should have had Mario here where Shock Centipede's ego, since it's the only Abno that just kind of shows up unlike the rest. That's true, actually. I'm surprised that you knew his name. Why? Yeah, nobody knows that he shows up again. I figured he would, but he just kind of shows up. Okay. I gotta change the music. I don't know. I'm not with it. Let's say Kanto 4 theme E1. No. No. Hang on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, you know what? Because we're in that part of the story. Won't K-Corp grade 3 enemies from Railroad 1 be on this list? No, because they're not a boss fight. Okay, so that no one may cry. To its credit, it has a gimmick. And the fight itself exists. Like, so that no one will cry, specifically in Railway 2, I'd say, is an annoying fight. The burn effect in story is just bad design. It just locks you out of one team type. Put in like B or C. I would say it goes in B, probably. I would say I'd put it right here. So I think I put Guido too high. I would say it goes about there. Because, honestly, it's fun. That's A tier. Wait a minute. Put it here. Because it has, like, a gimmick. And the gimmick is fun. The burn effect is the only part about it that I don't really like. I know that it's gone. Thank God. It's actually not gone in the story version of the fight, actually, Detective. I hope they never make fights that have gimmicks like that again. So, yeah, that's where I put it. It doesn't do a lot, but it's still decent enough. Fairy Gentleman kind of has two ways to fight it in the fights where it survives longer than a turn and a half. You could be aggressive and ignore its gimmick, which puts you on a bit of a timer. Or you could play the gimmick and make it so that he becomes staggered when he hits you. But the fight itself isn't that good. It does, like, do something, I suppose. And that's all I can really say about it. It's like a worse So That No One Will Cry, actually. I would say. I would put it, like, right here. It's not my favorite fight. It's not got much to it. I don't even like the Abnormality like a lot of people do. So, I put him in B next to So That No One Will Cry. No? What? Fairy Gentleman's problem is that he gives you too many turns. Yeah. The only thing that annoyed for Fairy Gentleman is somehow this easy boss has unclashable attacks and drunk mechanic. Well, that's his entire gimmick, though. If you get hit while you're drunk, he becomes staggered when he hits you with the unclashable, and it also doesn't do any damage. They too keep gimping Burn for no reason. Caterpillar? You're gonna not like me after this, chat. Top of A. See, YouTube chat, everyone in chat, you have a different opinion on what makes a fight annoying than I do. There's a lot going on in the Centipede fight, and a lot of people don't even know about it. It was the first... Okay, first off, wood. But second off, I'm a little biased because I like the Abnormality. But this is the first boss fight that I fought where I was like, oh, this is making me think. You know? There are bosses earlier than it that make you think. But this is the first one that I got to that I was like, oh, I'm actually thinking about how I do this. And it's specifically him in Railway 2. What are the purples? Those are the Mirror Dungeon bosses. We're not ranking those. Like, first off, the whole break its shield and it gains fragile the next turn. That's cool. Because it gives you a reward for not just doing the thing that you're supposed to do at the start, which is just not attack the head, or whatever it's called. And then, turn 2, when he uses the mass attack, almost nobody noticed that the mass attack gains power based on how much self-charge he has. But, if you have your faster people clash with all of his other skills, then he loses his self-charge. Which is like a gimmick you can work around. It makes you, like, pay attention to your speed values and whatnot. Centipede would be a better fight if in Hard Mirror Dungeon it didn't have, like, 3,000 to 4,000 HP in 4-5. I agree with that. Yeah, breaking his shield also depletes his charge, which is cool. And that's how you're supposed to play the fight. He's only not in S because of the part at the end where you just have to, like, wait. Can we just skip to Sign of Roses? No. We have other bosses to go through. But yeah, people underrate the Shock Centipede fight. Genuinely. The only annoying part is the part at the end where he just lives. But that's it. Mirror Dungeon Centipede is just kind of there. Okay, Drifting Fox. Everybody's favorite abnormality, especially Esku's. So Drifting Fox in the story is just kind of there. He doesn't do a lot. I think we can all agree that Drifting Fox in Railway 2 is the worst thing ever. Like, it's so obnoxious. Force SP loss on that one turn is just the worst. He gains so much protection when he has umbrellas. He has thorns, which is a status effect that they brought back at one point. It's just not fun. It is not a fun fight. It's better than... I mean, it's better than this. Why is the Apple Queen on B? She's literally one of the most trashiest bosses. She's at the bottom of B because she's literally just mid. Drifting Fox as a fight sucks. It rolls really high. You can't get back the SP, you're forced to lose. It has reflect damage. It gains a ton of protection. It has a mass attack. How is Drifting Fox not fun, but Centipede is top A? Have you played them? Drifting Fox just sucks. I've never fought him in Thread Spin more than the one time that you're required to for the Lunacy. I always skip. I always skip my daily excavations. Because they're not that interesting to play and I have enough for them. Railway 2 really was a mistake. Like, Railway 2, I would say, made Shock Centipede a more fun fight, but it made every other boss that appeared in it a lot less fun. Centipede wants you to read and not be annoyed. With Drifting Fox, you have no options, correct. People literally just dislike Shock Centipede because it requires you to read, and this is the Limbus fandom. Feel like lower C? I'll put it at the bottom of C. I'll put it above the human fights, how about that? Because the human fights aren't really that interesting. Just use your ring sang. Oh yes, in Railway 2. That's a great idea. I do it manually, and every time I hate myself for it. You know what? Fair. But yeah, I just genuinely don't like the Drifting Fox fight. You can probably... You know what? It's better than the stupid snake fight in the first Railway. I'll give it that. Railroad 2 was so bad, I didn't try to get the timed banners. I did. I wasn't going to try to get them, but then I noticed I was on pace for them anyways. So, Shock Centipede doesn't require you to read? Yes, it does. In Railway, it does, at least. Ricardo needs the Ricardo tier? No, he doesn't. We'll get to Ricardo. Okay. Dongrang, who denies all. What did Buildery say? Mr. Portal Guy and Sign. That's true. Dongrang, who denies all. The boss whose music we are currently listening to. Does anybody like this fight? Like, it's in Mirror Dungeon now, so you can play it again, and I have played it a couple times since. I think it's a fun fight. I don't think it's S tier, because Phase 2 of Distorted Dongrang, he doesn't attack you. You know? His mechanic is pretty forgettable. Like, I think maybe worse than Cromer, I would say. He goes in A tier still. Did anybody notice that when he enters Phase 2, his max HP increases by, like, triple. For some reason. You know what? I wouldn't even put it that high. I'll put it, like, here. It's just not that interesting for a boss fight. I managed to skip phase 2 in Mirror Dungeon. Oh yeah, there's that too. It's not a bad fight, but it's not that interesting. He is B. Are you... People really want me to put him lower, huh? What if I put him, like, here? Is that acceptable? Wait, it does that? Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's because when he eats the trees, he gets a lot of HP back. So I want it to stall you out if you don't kill him fast enough. Do you know that farmhouse has drug cows in the background? It's so true. And as people have been saying, Farmwatch is just a worse Spice Bush fight. It's basically literally just Spice Bush, but you don't have the dueling mechanic. You can fight him in Mirror Dungeon now, though. Fish is not better than Dongrang? Fine. There. Is Farmwatch an S-tier boss fight as a result? Does he just go into a lower spot in S than Spice Bush? Because we all know that Spice Bush is the best fight of Kanto 4. Can we put the fish lower? Yeah. I'll put it here. He seeds you. True. Cromer on A and Who Denies All on B. What? The Cromer fight is interesting. Well, the problem is I can't consider the story, because if I consider the story, the fights look like these two, Cromer, all the story fights just go at the top of S. Maybe like here, top of A, because it is literally just a worse Spice Bush. Yeah, the seeds don't eat SP, they drain HP. He just copied Dongrang's he copied Dongbake's homework. You mean? Never getting Farmwatch ID because Farmwatch is stupid, that's why. What the heck? What? Cromer was the first actual non-pushover boss? True. But Guido higher than Who Denies All? Y'all are forgetting the actual Guido fight. That's all I gotta say. Farmwatch is better than Frog, since he has mechanics you need to regulate. You know what? Fair. I'll put him above Lupo. What tier is Corroded N-Corp Sinclair at negative 45 SP with 9-2 equipped? That's pretty fun, honestly. If we're discounting the final check-in story, then yeah, just A. Yeah, I know, that's the thing. It's because I can't include the story check. Since we're not looking at the story-specific instances, really. In terms of what happens in the fight, I should say. Fairy Longlegs is, like, bad. I put him, like, here. I don't like the Fairy Longlegs fight. I'll be real with you, chat. He's not that good. He like, doesn't do anything with 2 of his body parts. For some reason. The Clover does literally nothing. Why do people always ask about getting a Farmwatch ID when what we really would need is more casino security staff? You know what? Fair. Spawn the tree and do nothing. Yeah. It doesn't do any... It gives him, like, what? 1 damage up or something? Above Ida? I don't even think he deserves that. He's the worst Mirror Dungeon boss. He rolls high and that's it. Basically, yeah. What a nice tree. And yeah, he's not even that interesting. His counter never goes off because you never hit his body. It's like, he has too many body parts for what he does, I think. You should shoot lasers from his eyes so that he uses his head, yeah? He gets more strength the more turns the tree survives, but this tree never survives for more than a turn. I agree with Buildery. I think this is too generous. I'll put him like here. He's better than this. He does use fewer attacks when the tree is alive, that's true. But yeah, he's just not a good fight. Okay. King Trash Crab. I don't know, it's like better than Brazen Bull. King Trash Crab annoys me because it's like the only fight in the game where you're put into a situation where the boss has more skills available than you do. It's just not very good. King Trash Crab just kinda sucks. I'm gonna change the music again. What do we change it to? I don't have any good options. See, the problem is YouTube's recommended is only recommending me, like, real songs that I can't play for copyright reasons. What do you want to hear? Why do you want me to put the crab at the top of B? It's not that good of a fight. Side of Rose's song. Maybe not. Change it to the middle theme. Fine. I don't think that this is deserved, but fine. I know this isn't Tojo, this is the actual fight theme. Also, yeah, crab counter sucks. Okay, Steam Transport Machine. I want to hear chat's opinion before I put it anywhere. God, this music is way too intense for Steam Transport Machine. So I actually really like Steam Transport Machine's design. I wish we had Ego for it. F tier. I kind of expected D. S unironically. Your name is Package of Lies. And you say S. D, C, D, F, C, D, A. D deserves its own tier. C. There was something on my glasses. I saw very little placements under or over B. C next to Fox. So, I agree with most people. I think the resisting everything part of the fight is stupid. But I do think that you're underrating what it does. And in Mirror Dungeons, it's certainly a lot more manageable. I don't think it goes above B. Definitely not. I think I'll put it here. For now. So... You actually fight him 5 times. I believe. If it weren't for the like, it has a good gimmick, honestly. Once you break the Steam Blaster, you have your fastest 2 people clash with skills that give him poise, and then you can deal more damage. But he's just so frustrating that I can't put him higher. I think some of you should refresh the stream. I'm pretty sure it's very far behind at this point. I haven't dropped any frames since before. We're currently discussing the position of Steam Transport Machine, and that some think that it's good and others think that it's bad. Below Ida, at least. Do you want me to, like, put Ida higher? Maybe? The resisting everything is fine depending on how much health it has. There are certainly parts... Like, there are certainly teams you can go in with that make this fight obnoxious. Rupture ignores its gimmick, by the way. You know what? I'm gonna put Ida higher. Because a lot of people seem to use her as, like, the baseline. And she's definitely a better fight than people give her credit for. She can go up 1. But, like, above Headless Ichthus? Are you saying? Because, like, Fairy Gentleman and Headless Ichthus might as well be the same fight. You know what? I'll move that up. If you get hit, you get wrecked. Not a stall mechanic, true. The revenge mechanic for the bot should have just been 100% more damage. I agree with that. Actually, it kind of already gets that. People... Alanox will get to it. Don't worry. When he resists everything and I roll only skill 1 on all the sinners, I mean, that's annoying, yeah. Unless you have Rupture or Sinking fight. No. Sinking doesn't make the fight any less obnoxious. He's weak to Gloom until his body breaks, and then he resists it again. Sinking doesn't help. It makes the first part of the fight faster. So, I'll be honest with you, chat, I just hate Fey Lantern. I just really despise the Fey Lantern fight. It's so terrible. Literally just hit it the fight. Its gimmick isn't cool. If you can't stagger it, it just kills you. It's not fun. I dislike Fey Lantern so much. The tree, I believe, resets all its status effects, so... Yeah, that too! I hate Fey Lantern. I know that there are people that like Fey Lantern. It's just... boring. I know it's easy. I'm not talking about it being easy. I'm ignoring the fact that it's easy, because there's a lot of easy fights that are in S. So... it's just... bad. It's not even that it's easy. Why is Middle Finger Tojo not one of the requested musics? What the heck? Isn't this... Wait, isn't this the bongy? No. Hang on. That's not bongy. I gotta find a song, you know. Intervallo 4. Battle theme 2. Or 1. No, that's Intervallo 1. Intervallo 2. Fine, I'll say it like that. I like Crab theme. I want to listen to Crab theme. Okay? This was the theme I used for these guys in the railway video I did. What do the V icons on some fights mean? It means that's the Mirror Dungeon version, which we don't rank those. How about the Dead Rabbit boss theme? Maybe later. No way Ting Tang Gang Leader is higher than Fey Lantern. Human fights are just human fights. Fey Lantern just sucks. I don't like Fey Lantern, okay? I can't put him any higher. I'm sorry. Dual Fairies is like the same fight as Fairy Gentleman, because after Fairy Longlegs summons his thing, he stops attacking you. Nobody knows why. It's basically just Fairy Gentleman, but you have to use 3 more turns after Fairy Gentleman is dead. I guess it's better. But this fight is not any more interesting like the double fight with Watchdog Ichthus. It's like the exact same as Fairy Gentleman, pretty much. If you like Fey Lantern, I will write your name in the Book of Vengeance. Okay. Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything for the fight. And so we don't really need to talk about it. S tier mean hard bosses? No. These are bosses based on how much I like them. How good they are. Wayward Passenger. Put Wayward Passenger in S? Yes, but where in S? Is the question. Because Wayward Passenger is an exceptional fight. You can encounter it in Mirror Dungeon, they fixed that bug. They added it back. Also, you can get it as an end boss in a lot of the packs. So, it doesn't have enough SP, or HP. It's an easy S, yeah. Like, it's one of the most fun fights in the game, honestly. Above Bongi, top of the list. He's the GOAT, top of S, above MFE. Below Don Beg, above Bongi. So, like, it's one of these 3 spots, it looks like. Above Bongi. I'll put him here, yeah. Like, his portals are cool. Like, the portal gimmick itself is just cool. The fact that you can... stop him from leaving after the first time he leaves is fun. And the fight itself is just well designed. So, like, I have absolutely no problem putting him that high. AoE is epic. That's true, but usually you don't get hit by it. I put him above Bungie. You need to refresh your stream, Nick. I think. Yeah, I'd put him above Bongi. It's fine. Okay, Sign of Roses. Sign of Roses, I feel like, is an A-tier boss fight. We'll forever say that he's trying to get his paycheck from W Corp. It's probably true. Sign of Roses, I feel like, is A-Corp. A-tier. Better than Spice Bush and probably the same as Buddha. B. Like, instantly someone's like, oh yeah, Sign of Roses, that's a B tier fight. Smash. Don't say smash. The problem with Sign of Roses is that it's really easy. But the other problem is Red Roses specifically. Also, did you know that the Gloom Roses also have that effect? The Red Roses themselves are what makes this fight not as good. I don't know, maybe like here. Like, it doesn't have a lot going for it. The gimmick to make stuff... I put it above Cromer, you know what, fair. And it's not really that interesting when you actually play it. The timer seems like it'd be a problem, and then you realize you can kill every rose in one attack anyways. Red Rose dies, explodes. Yeah, no. If it weren't for Wrath Roses, I would probably put him in S. But Wrath Roses are just obnoxious. And that's really the only reason he goes there. Shmi. The pirate. What do we think about Shmi? As a human boss fight, Shmi is certainly a problem in Mirror Dungeon 3 hard, specifically. Kinda meh, always dies really fast. Stop saying smash. B for literally be who. Smee is wife, she deserves at least A. She is certainly Smee. It seems like people are like, yeah, she's pretty mid. And she doesn't even have a railway fight like recollected manager does to make it more interesting. High C? Well, I'd put her probably at the same tier as like Nico. Maybe below. No, I remember her more than I remember Nico. With Ida? No, I never really struggled with Smee. You said smash for Centipede. Please, people deserve to voice their opinions. That's not what this is for. Okay? Smee was forgettable as frick. You guys are just going to be visited by N-Corp very soon. Why is Nico higher up? Is he that interesting? No. None of these fights are particularly interesting. That's not the point. Higher, I mean in B tier. But, like, how much higher? Because I can't put her above Doomsday Calendar, because Doomsday Calendar has a gimmick. Yeah, Gregor is just a better Smee. I do want to ask, do we count Whale of the Porous Hand as a boss fight? Because this is the only one where I was like, I don't really know if I count this. Because it only happens in one story fight. And it's certainly in Railway 3. Smee has a hat. That's why she's higher than Nico. What do you mean? No, 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 no. Alright, if enough people say no, I'll just move them away. Okay, we'll just not count that as a boss fight. It's like the same as... How do you count G-Corp Manager but not Porous Hands? Good question. G-Corp Manager is classified as a boss fight in the game code. Whereas Whale of the Porous Hand Mermaids are normal and elite respectively. Because believe it or not, there are different classifications for that. And yes, G-Corp Head Manager is classified as a boss, not an elite. He only appears in one stage in story. Ricardo, high A. So, I honestly think Ricardo is held back by the fact that he has 2 waves of guys before him. That guy's not a boss fight, Jimmy. That's an elite. Yes, Ting Tang Boss is a boss. He only appears in one stage and only one of him is there. Top of A or S? Ricardo's fight is genuinely pretty good. He's a lot more dangerous than enemies you see, so he feels menacing. And also he's like, got a gimmick and you can play with it. You know? Top of A? I'll probably put him atop of A, yeah. Ricardo without the first 2 waves would be unwinnable? That is true. I think there should only be 1 wave before him, personally. But honestly, I think he goes above Dong Rang. He's certainly more interesting than Dong Rang. I do complain about sanity a lot, yeah. Ricardo makes you think? No, he doesn't. He doesn't really make you think, but the fight itself is fun. That's like the big thing, right? Hate that he is blunt weak and has a counter. The counter is awful, yeah. But, like, the fight itself is pretty satisfying to actually do. It's got a gimmick you can play into, and it's, like, not hard to figure out. But he does require that you read. Put him in. I still see people saying that this guy is a massive roadblock tier. I know, people do still see him as a roadblock. Thank you, Coffee, for the 5. And I can see why. Even if you do know his gimmick, his skills roll really high. The part about him that I don't like is his role in the story, and that's not being included here, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. Also just goes in hand with his attitude in the cutscene. That's true, yeah. He kind of just doesn't care about you at all, is the cool thing. He knows he's gonna crush you, so he handicaps himself to give you a chance. Yeah, he wants to have fun. Why are middle blunt weak? I don't know. Can we cycle the music? Yeah. Somebody said Dead Rabbit's boss theme. Which, is that Kanto 6 boss 1 theme? I think. This one, right? Or wait, this is the ring. It's this one. That's Hindley. Dead Rabbits is boss 2. Okay, yeah. Boss 3 is Heathcliff ? I believe. Okay. Queequeg by herself. Does anyone... There's a lot of people that I feel like forget that this fight exists. What do people think about this fight? I think it's genuinely a pretty good fight. Yeah, by herself in air quotes. B? Really? I genuinely think that this fight is pretty good. I see a lot of people disagreeing, but legitimately, she probably goes, like, here for me. They have stupid coin power? That's just because the Pequod crew do have stupid coin power, let's be honest. And she's not that memorable, but I do remember the fight myself. It was a pretty fun fight. I think high A is fair for it. It's just a worse version of another fight. Wait, what other fight? Because it works differently from any other fight in the entire Kanto. So I don't know what fight you're talking about. But it's one of the more memorable fights in Kanto 5 for me. I know Kanto 5 is the only one people didn't get to watch me play. But the fight is only really as bad as your condition before you enter it. True. I like Telesac fight better. Yeah, but the Telesac fight isn't that interesting. It's a good fight, but Guido is better. Don't say that. It's not true. Okay? Quique is a decent enemy. Trio's like the top 5 fights in the game. We'll get to Trio. Can you put her in? They fixed her low HP gimmick after SQ Railway videos were done. That's true, but like, no. I'm not making separate tiers for stuff like that. Alright, Ambling Pearl. In my opinion, Ambling Pearl goes here. But I'm gonna wait to see what other people say. I really like this fight. It's genuinely one of my favorite fights in the entire game. C, B, C. This isn't very... You don't inspire me with your opinions, chat. Good night, mixed colors. See you later. Bad C, yo, C, C. Why is everybody saying C? This is like the best generic boss fight in the entire game. Right? It gives you multiple ways to kill the boss himself. Gives you something to focus on that's not just hitting the boss. And it puts you on a timer. That's good design. It's pretty easy. And its unique status sucks. But aside from that, it's an amazing fight. Pearl's 2 completely different fights depending on the state of your AoE. That's true. Are you insane? Do you see where I put Shock Centipede? Ambling Pearl is an amazing fight. It's definitely better than Glupo. I wouldn't put it above Papa Pongi, but... What if I have bad AoE? Well, that's your own fault, I guess. So it hits you for 30 SP loss for hitting the check. Okay, yeah, the check is obnoxious. I'll give you that. I'll move it down a couple spots for the check. But I'm not moving it out of S. People are just jealous that it can dance better than they ever could. It can certainly dance better than me. Endured damage on everything plus poison damage, and you lose as much HP, SP from winning the check. So it's not technically endured to everything. Breaking the shell still makes you do double damage with all affinities. That's what I mean about multiple ways to take it down. If you just target the shell the entire time, then it doesn't use its AoE, and you can also, like, it just takes longer. If you target the pearl, it'll use its AoE repeatedly, but it won't take as long. It ain't S at all. I'm vetoing chat. I'm vetoing chat right now. How does it feel to be wrong? This is going in the Book of Vengeance for sure. Listen. Okay? Listen. Shrimply Rupture stack. Easy. Or just, yeah, Rupture. True. Don't think it's S. It's a fun fight. People are underrating it. Fairy Queen is similar but better than Pearl? No? No, it's probably not a better fight than Pearl, but Fairy Queen is pretty similar. With Queequeg and friends, isn't it a human fight? No. It's a focused fight. Skin Prophet. Skin Prophet, chat. It's pretty sticky. You won't dodge this. Okay. Oh, I feel like Skin Prophet is like B. I liked Skin Prophet a lot when it first came out, and then I did it more times, and I can certainly see why people don't like it as much. And I certainly don't like the Railway version. That one sucked. It's probably more interesting so that no one will cry. I love a status that says nothing. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Low A, B if you land all candles on turn 1, C otherwise. What do you don't do AoE the fight? What? You want to do AoE, what are you talking about? I feel like middle of B, I feel like putting it like here is fair. Because it does, like, have a gimmick, and you can approach it multiple ways, but also it's frustrating. Like, skin profit for how it makes you think about how you AoE. I feel like the weight thing is a bug, though. Like, I definitely like this fight more on initial impression than I did when I did it later. That's entirely for sure. I sure love tripling burn. Why are there two Kims? Because those two fights are genuinely different mechanically. It's better than Steam Transport Machine. Steam Transport Machine should still be high C. No, I disagree. I'll agree with it being better than Steam Transport Machine, but I won't move Steam Transport down. Me when I don't tell you that the bird is tripled. I love that so much. Please don't let Dream Devouring anywhere near S. Oh, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me. Alright. Dream Devouring Silt Current is a slightly worse Glupo. In my opinion. It's a... Okay, in story, Dream Devouring Silt Current is awful. In Railway and in Mirror Dungeon, it's pretty fun. Why Bongi in S? Because it deserves to be there. A lot of people really like the Dream Devouring Silt Current fight, and I do agree. I do like it. I think the gimmick is bad. You're right about that. Any unclashable mass attacks are always going to be worse. And it does maybe roll a little too high, but it is a good fight. It's a good fight because it's short, chat. If it were longer, it would suck. But usually, you can end the fight in a couple of turns. This whale cannot go above A. I think it can't go above A because of the paralysis. If it didn't do paralysis, it would be fine. It would go in S easily. But the fight itself is pretty... It's fast, but it's not easy, and that's the reason I like Silt Current. Hey, Esku. That's gonna be his only comment for the stream, by the way, chat. There's no way he ever says anything else. I'm gonna go back to the Hindley music. No, I'm not. I don't like this theme. Boss 5? Sure. Scary boss music to introduce the best boss fight in the game. I don't even think anybody's gonna argue with me. I think Ahab Trio is the best fight in the game. It's not even a competition. It's the only fight that's, like, fun to play while also being difficult. Nelly more like smelly. I love that comment. It's absolutely the best fight in the game. It's a Ruina fight, it's true. I thought Silt Current too many times, that's fair. I never fought Silt Current at the end of Mirror Dungeon 3 hard, actually. Now, I cannot say the same for Gas Harpoon. I hate this fight so much, S tier. The first time I did Pequod Trio, I did hate it. But I genuinely like the fight. Gas Harpoon has problems. Gas Harpoon's first two phases are easy. And the gimmick... I mean, the gimmick in phase 2 is whatever. Phase 3 Gas Harpoon is awful. Especially in Mirror Dungeon 4. The whole her always being at max sanity and also hitting her makes you lose sanity. And also, if you somehow make her panic, hitting her makes you lose more sanity. Is just annoying. The fight itself... High B above Farm Watch. Well, Farm Watch isn't in B, so I don't know what you mean by that. I prefer last Earl King to Ahab Trio. That's fair. I kind of want to put Gas Harpoon, like, here. Maybe even here. I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight at all. It's not that good. No, Compass doesn't count for it. Boss theme isn't considered. Right above current or lower, first two phases are basic or boring, the phase 3 counter sucks so much. That's true. I will say, in story, I had to actually try Gas Harpoon like 3 times because I got really unlucky at the earliest fight. More so a story fight than a fight meant to be repeated, certainly, yeah. A at least? Fine, I'll put her at the bottom of A. I'll put her above Guido. Okay. We're now past Kanto 5. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dodoru fight. You might remember this fight from the story as the fight where you were only allowed Don Quixote and Heathcliff. There are enemies that look exactly like him that appear later, but the first fight where you fight Dodoru is technically a boss fight. It's alright. It's still a human fight, but the gimmick of only allowing you to use 2 sinners is cool. A tier for just being weird. The sinner restriction is the only interesting thing about the fight. I agree with that. Now, that is unfortunately enough to put it higher than these guys. So, like... I mean, I'm assuming people like it more than they like Bull. But the fight itself is not very interesting. It's, like, really easy, too. I'll put it, like, here-ish? Is that fair? Mid-B. It's also a crime that this gnome rush appears in its themed pack, but Dodoru is replaced with the manager gnome. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? It is strange how the actual boss enemy doesn't show up in Mirror Dungeon, but the manager does. I like it more than Crab too, in fact. That's fair. Okay, Santata. Santitties. Where are we putting him? He's like... I guess he has 2 waves before him. He's like a less interesting fairy gentleman. I learned from Escu and started streaming Slop. It's so true. What does he do again? He uses a block on turn 2 that rolls 100, and if you break his shield, he gets staggered. He's very boring. He does nothing. He literally does nothing. He is charged. Very cool. Escu tier. What was his mechanic? He spends charge to get poise. That's his mechanic. I don't know what they were thinking. You know what? I'm gonna put Ebony Stem at the top of C so that we can actually have it all on one row. Put him in why does he have charge tier, C tier. He is the apple teat. Okay. He's very much a pushover, yeah. He rolls really high with one of his skills, but... he's a very easy boss. Blood, blood-drenched Gossipium, S tier above, my form empties. This isn't even a competition. Like, I don't think anybody is even gonna argue with that. Blood-drenched Gossipium is an amazing fight. Absolutely hell if you're doing Railway with only the worst IDs. But Blood-drenched Gossipium goes near the top of S. You put Apple on top of C as well? You know what? Fair. I absolutely will. It's like, you have to manage it, you're on a timer no matter what, and it gives you a reason to use defense skills, and that's cool. Live bleed count reaction, I agree. Gossy's super funny, it's so true. It's like just cool. I'll give it that. Escu screaming in the background. I don't think he'd be screaming. I don't think he thinks that the fight is bad. It's just really awful to play with his own imposed rule set. Put him in canonically complaining about the ego gift to S tier. It's got a great design. I like it too. I wish we had more information about it. Because it's genuinely a cool abnormality design. What's wrong with my boy Distorted Dong Rang? He's just a worse Spice Bush fight. Oh, no, you're talking about Distorted. It's just easy. You can ignore the gimmick entirely. Yeah, I just really like the Gossipium fight. It's one of the coolest fights they've ever introduced. Chat, Ardor Blossom Moth? Ardor Blossom Moth is just a worse Dream Current fight. In my opinion. I mean, it makes me feel things, but it's just a worse Silk Current fight. If you really think about it. It absolutely doesn't go above Silk Current, no matter what. I'll put it like here. I wish it was better. Honestly. But I completely ignored Moth's gimmick and just win every clash. That's how you fight him. Yeah. Why do you clash that high is the correct answer. Like, you need one of the ego that rolls 40 plus in order to even fight it. And yeah, it's just Silk Current, but worse. Because the undodgeable mass attack heals it. You know? Rolling 5% on Sun Shower and DS feeling, yeah. Alright, let's change the music again. Kanto 6 Battle Theme E? Sure. When does this even play? Let's go with the Battle Theme D. No, absolutely not. We already listened to this one. Somebody asked for it earlier, I guess. Hold on. It's definitely over Chromer. No, I don't believe that. Ardor, stop telling me to insert ads. What did Joel say? All fights are win all clashes? I mean, that's not even true. Can you play Distorted Heath's theme when raiding him? I guess? That wasn't the Virgilius theme, that was the theme that plays in the fight before Virgilius shows up. We done Battle F? No. Okay, Spiral is definitely an S tier fight. Absolutely. The question is where? Do I put him above or below my form empties? Because this is a really good fight. I know it's S. Is it above or below my form empties? Tell me which fight is not a win all clashes. Drenched Gossipium. Below. Put it under Spice Bush. Okay. I'm seeing more belows than aboves, so I'm gonna put it below. Just know that this is probably my favorite abnormality from Limbus. And I really hope we get an ego for it eventually. Spiral would actually be above Gaussy in my book if it wasn't for one specific reason. Is it because of the stupid contempt gimmick? Was the damage sponge a bit too much? No, it being a damage sponge is actually what makes the fight more interesting in this case. I feel like Spiral is the top of A just because of how much it sucks when you don't run a status team. I mean, that's fair, but also, I like him. Are you just saying that, Udo, are you just saying that because of the guy who drew Ego, fan-made Ego for Faust and Merceau as Spiral of Contempt? Jun is an S tier. Jun is unironically the best human fight. I agree with you there. I don't think he goes in S tier at all. I think he probably goes in A just above Guido, if anything. D tier for being a human fight that should have been handled like the middle fights. I mean, true. Put it in, I'm running out of still fake tiers. Tiers S above MFE. I don't know, I want to put Jun here. You didn't know about that? That's... I don't have them off... I don't have them at the ready. I can post them in the Discord after. I need to speed up my stream? So true. If it was a focus fight, it would have been S tier. I mean, yeah, probably. It not being a focus fight is the big thing holding it back, because if it was a focus fight, that would actually be a lot more interesting. Being a well-designed human fight is harder, so top A or low S. No, I put it at the low A, because the fight itself still feels like crap. Rules of the back shots. Please don't phrase it like this. Rule of the tier list tier. He's in A! I'm not moving him. If it was a focus fight, it would be lower? Really? Are you sure about that? Anyways, distorting Bamboo-Hatted Kim. For people who don't know, this is the version that doesn't have the AoE. Distorting gets its status on the turn it uses the skill from its counter, and Distorted gets the status the turn before using its counter. I think Distorted is definitely a better fight. It's just Kim but lower HP. No, it genuinely works differently. He doesn't have the AoE at all. His, I don't remember the name of the status effect. But the status effect doesn't work the same way as in Distorted. Better than Distorted. That's an interesting take. A and put Distorted in S. I mean, I'll put it in A. I'll put it, like, here. Maybe. No, it's better than Dongrang. Or Dongbak. Distorted is just more fleshed out. It is true. It is just more fleshed out of a fight. Distorted is also the one that I was one attack off of losing my Pride Only run. Distorting is held back by mostly being a demo and starting at 0 SP. Well, starting at 0 SP is fine. A lot of the bosses nowadays do that. A lot of the bosses outside of Railway nowadays do that. Actually, you know, maybe I put this one, like, here, and then I put this one here. Because those are technically different fights. Growing Resentment. Okay, yeah. The Carmen in the background. There needed to be something to distinguish them, because they are literally the same sprite in battle. Oh, you were saying non-distorted is better. My bad. I think I agree with you. You get to fight the distorted version a lot more as well. But we're now on the final Kanto. Distorted is S above Glupo. I don't know, I don't really feel like I like this fight that much. It literally might be just me. But I don't like it. It's not that interesting of a fight. And most of the time you just kill him before he does his AoE. Josephine. Before you rank Wuthering Heights bosses, just agree they're the best set of bosses thematically. I mean, thematically, sure, but that doesn't mean I thought they were the most enjoyable. Josephine's main gimmick is that she inflicts way too much sinking. And that's really all she does, so she's going with the other named human characters that don't do much. So, yeah. A friend of mine ran into Josephine in the mirror dungeon before she fought her in Kanto 6 and started complaining she wouldn't die. Oh no. Do they know, chat? I wonder why Glupo is so high. This silly guy drives me up the wall in Thread Farm. That's why he's so high. He's a good fight. The Ring Pointillist Researcher is a fight, certainly. Her gimmick is unstaggering herself because F you. I don't even remember that. Actually clueless. Yeah, I don't even remember her doing that. Like, that fight wasn't that hard. So much bleed and damage. Well, here's the thing, chat. Pointillist Researchers and Dead Rabbit's boss are, like, the same fight. And so they're going to be next to each other. Probably with Pointillist higher, because I think it's slightly harder. I remember this fight just because killing the boss didn't end the fight, so one of the minions takes the boss spot. Oh yeah, there's that bug, right? At least he had a name and a unique sprite. Yeah, but the fight itself, though. It's kind of not. Okay, name me one mechanic that's different between them. I'll wait. I didn't interact with them any differently. Both fights, I just killed the minions and then focused the boss. Because that's the easiest way to do it. I know that killing the minions gives the boss more actions, but it doesn't matter, usually. You know? So, do we like that mechanic? Rabbit boss actually gains SP? That doesn't mean the boss is any more interesting. If Heath dies in the ring fight, it doesn't matter. That's not a mechanic. I'm putting Dead Rabbits higher. Don't worry, chat. I want to put him, like, maybe here-ish. And then Dead Rabbits is almost the same fight, so I'll put him, like, here. Because it is a better fight, even though it is almost the same. Okay, people wanted me to play Heathcliff's boss theme. I can do that. You know? Windowless guys were actually kind of scary. They have funny skills with possibly very high damage, yeah. I did use sinking for that fight, though. Ida's better. Why do we keep saying this? If you Dead Rabbits doesn't hit Heath, he loses sanity. That's true, yeah. Undistorted Hindley is just a damage sponge that does nothing interesting. Here. I don't think anybody's gonna complain about that. Hindley is not a interesting fight at all. Distorted Hindley... Distorted Hindley is kind of just a big enemy. He has a mechanic, but he doesn't really get to do much with it by the time he dies. No, Distorted Hindley is at least better than regular Hindley, chat. I don't think he's that interesting, though. He's basically just... I don't know, where's the boss fight that's just one big enemy? It's like here. Probably. Because it's basically just a worse version of the So That No One Will Cry fight. Like, you know what? Ada's better. We keep doing this. Ada's always better. Ada is the great equalizer, apparently. I don't remember what he did, but I remember enjoying fighting him. Probably just because I had the occasion of beating Hindley a second time. You know what? Fair. Furry boss is boring. He's here. Yeah, basically, if you win a clash at a certain point, he takes more damage. And that's his gimmick. Okay, Heathcliff with a question mark. I bet a lot of people are gonna disagree with me. I'm not a big fan of this fight. Ida, also known as the Shiggy Wiggy. Okay. A or even S. S. Yeah, I kind of figured a lot of people are just going to say S for this fight. My big problem with this fight is that it's basically just a damage sponge. It's like slightly better Distorted Hindley. You have a clam in S tier, there's nothing to agree with already. Do you know that the clam has gimmicks? Has, like, mechanics to it? My big problem with Heathcliff 1 is that it has a bunch of those effects that punish you for hitting him. Above Dead Rabbit? I wouldn't even go that far. Yeah, if you miss one clash, you're faced with a 45 SP Calamity. It's true. Feels like it's Guido tier? I don't even think that that's the case. Like, genuinely. No, I'm putting him here. I don't. So, like, I'm complaining about him being a damage sponge, and I realize I put him 4 spots below Steam Machine. But at least Steam Machine, you can undo the damage sponginess occasionally. His name isn't Matt. The first time you fight Heathcliff ? It's Elizabeth. Ida's better? I agree with that, yeah. Then we have Heathcliff the Heartbroken. Which is just Sentata, but the fight looks cool. No, that wasn't Match the Colors Heathcliff. That was a different one. Let's claim his balls, chat. What do we think about Heartbroken? Heartbroken is kind of just another fight where there's a part that you break and then you just focus down the body. This one was SS before Nerf. Heartbroken is a good fight. I didn't get to play it before Nerf. I know a lot of people are gonna say it's better because of before Nerf, but I didn't get to experience that. Is like Dongbake. You mean like Sunshower Dongbake or Spice Bush? Because remember, there are 2 of those. The presentation is amazing, but the presentation isn't what we're ranking here. Around Ardor? I think that's fair. I think going 1 spot above Ardor is fair. It's Drifting Fox, more metalhead cousin in design. It's Drifting Fox, but the design is actually cool. Chat, I have to ask again, do we count 641 as a boss fight? I always play 2 days after the update comes out. So usually nerfs are out by that point. Do we count the entire Virgilius part? I'm asking if the fight itself is considered a boss fight. Because there's no boss enemies in it. The only unique enemy is the Pekatula. I don't know, people are more split on this one than with Wild Boar Sand. Put it in V tier. It's just a cinematic. It's a survival stage, not a boss. Like, I like the stage, but I just don't think it's a boss fight. So let's just move it down, I guess. Okay, that means we have 5 bosses left to rank. Starting with, let's say the best of the Heathcliff fights. And I say it's the best one because it's not obnoxiously long like with Catherine. Low S for Earl King. So, Earl King is like good. I think low S is probably fair. I'll put him above Toad, I'd say. But it's definitely the best of the Heathcliff fights, in my opinion. Can I hear a TLDR of your opinion on Big Brother of the Middle? He's just fun. He's fun and his gimmick is cool. The only thing that sucks is the purple shield. I agree with that. The purple shield is stupid. That's the bleed one. Mechanically, it's the best, but I like the shipping war fight better. Okay, fair enough. Nelly is low A or high B. Actually, Nelly goes at the bottom of D. That's probably not entirely accurate. I put her at, like, low B. So, I hate the Nelly fight. I really hate the Nelly fight. She's awful. Any fight that can permanently stagger you is awful. If she didn't inflict bind to the person that needed to clash, then it would be fine. Okay? But she has a guaranteed stagger and can perma-stagger people. To avoid the perma-stagger, you need to clash with a specific skill, but the effect that perma-staggers you inflicts bind, so clashing is hard. It's not a good design for a fight. But it's not the worst fight in the game. That's just my opinion. And she gains haste, yeah, that too. I don't even know why they thought that was okay. Nelly just doesn't do anything till the final phase, and then, yeah, as you mentioned, the perma stagger sucks. Okay. Can't you plan ahead and counterbind her? Not really. Oh no, Crow's Eye View is like top of A tier in terms of ego strength. Oh yeah, and the extra slot if you miss an evade. That's also annoying. I'll give her points for, like, actually being able to offset stuff. Every Catherine probably also goes in S, but I wouldn't put it as high as this one. I'll definitely put it, like, here, maybe? Her speed range is not 1 to 2. It's like 3 to 6 by default. It's peak, but I think it overstays its welcome. Honestly. It's too long, and 2 of the phases are exactly the same as each other. And so I can't really put it any higher. Just ask Cully if you think there's anybody who thinks this fight is better than the last Earl King fight. It's a really good fight, but I don't think it's definitely still one of the best fights in the game, but I don't think it is the best fight in the game myself. You know? How long do you think Kanto 12 final boss fight will be? A couple hours. Pre-nerf would be higher? I don't think it would. All the pre-nerf one does is give Catherine thorns. Great fight, but I think the best parts about it are the cool story aspects. Yeah, that one's a B. Didn't like it. You know what, Joel? I kind of vibe with you on that. But I also think that the fight itself is pretty alright in general. It's better than Ambling Pearl, let's be real here. Fairy Festival 1. People might disagree with me, but I think the first Fairy Festival is better than the second one. I'll put it, like, mid-A. I'll put it above Silk Current. I still can't believe people were getting filtered by the Catherine Thorns. I mean, to be fair, some people just don't read. I like the test of endurance it brings. That's fair. Be S tier. Why are people saying S tier for Fairy Festival? Aren't they both the same? No, the mechanics are genuinely different. I keep saying gimmicks when I mean to say mechanics, by the way. I like the hard version of this fight better. I mean, the hard version of this fight is easier. But the mechanics of the first fight are more interesting, in my opinion. I think the second fight probably goes, like, gear-ish for me. Because they're similar, but they're definitely not the same. Why do people like Fairy Festival so much? Much as the leader buffs are cool, the team-wide SP heal and Sin Generation is too much. Impossible to lose either of them. I agree with that, yeah. I still don't know what the Fairy Festival does. It eats its children to gain debuffs. That's what it does. But the first fight is absolutely easier than the second one. Or better than the second one, I should say. Ever get Festival and the Ordeal robots in the Mirror Dungeon? Nope. What does V stand for? That's Mirror Dungeon. We've gone through every boss, chat. They're all on the list right now. This is every boss fight in the game. And I think that this is pretty accurate. Yay, we finished the list. I hate it. Thank you for that. I rate this fight A. I used Blazing Strike and hit you for 299 damage. So yeah, that's every fight in the game. Every boss fight in the game. If I did every enemy type in the game, that would take so long. There's so many enemy types. Now for Mirror Dungeon, I'm not going to rank them based on Mirror Dungeon only, because the rank will look almost exactly the same. You know? I was wondering why Glupo is so high, because Glupo is genuinely a good fight. Maybe I put it lower in ass. Yo, thank you for the 5 memberships again, Coffee. I appreciate it. Ida above Pequod Trio. No. We put Head Hooligan in S. No, I don't think he belongs there. I don't even remember what stage he's in. Floor 5 Steam Machine. Can't wait to hear your opinion on this one. I've fought it. It wasn't that bad. What are you talking about? It genuinely wasn't a hard fight. I just played it the same way I normally played it, and it took longer because he had 3,000 health, but that's normal. Shit. I know what that means, because in 4th grade and 5th grade, I was forced to take entry-level Mandarin Chinese, and I remembered like 5 words, and that was one of them. I'm surprised Steam Machine is in B. Oh, Steam Machine deserves to be in B. He's a good fight, he just has one really annoying mechanic. But, that's it. I don't know, should I keep going? Should I do something else? People keep asking me to do an Abnormality Smasher Pass, but I don't know if that's, possible. I don't know if there's a tier list maker with every abnormality in it. What's Shisha? It means thank you. But yeah, people keep asking me to do an Abnormality Smasher Pass. I don't... Is there a tier list maker with every abnormality in it, including the, ones from previous games? Where would you put Porous Hand and the Wild Hunt if you had to rank them? Probably, like, B. They're just wave fights. I don't want to know, but I will watch. I'll try to find... Here. Abnormality... tier list maker. Lobotomy Corporation abnormalities. All Project Moon abnormalities. Is it lying to me? I'm not gonna rank the Wonder Lab exclusive ones because I mean, yeah, this does have all of them actually. Jet. We have to do it. Oh, dude, Lenny, you literally just linked me the one that I just found. Okay. Smash. Delete the bottom 3 rows. And I turn this one blue. You are really gonna make me do this. Huh. The slop continues. I'm not changing the name of this stream. This is not going to last very long, despite the fact that there's more abnormalities in it. First things first, I'm moving all of the ones that are exclusive to Wonder Lab to the bottom because we're not ranking those. Because I've been told that that's uncouth. The ones that are in Limbus are fair, or in Ruina are fair game, but the ones outside of Ruina are not. So they will not be ranked. I don't know why Kim is here. He's not an abnormality, but that's okay. There's a lot of Wonder Lab abnos, wow. I didn't even realize there were that many. Okay. Hi, Boris. Why is Kim here? I don't know. Make Smash pink. Fine. Training dummy is a Smash. I'm not organizing these in ranks, by the way. Woman facing the wall. Pass. Nothing there. Smash. No, pass. Megahertz. Pass. Singing machine. I don't know. Singing machine, I guess I'll put it in Smash. Sun Orchestra is a pass. Woodsman, pass. Snow Queen, pass. Big Bird, smash. Little Helper, pass. Snow White's Apple, pass. Scorch Girl, pass. Spiderbud, pass. One Sin, pass. I'm going through it fast so that people don't question it as much. Okay? Queen of Hatred. Well, this is awkward because it depends on the form. So I'm gonna say smash and move on. Teddy Bear, pass. Red Shoes, pass. Teresia, pass. Old Lady, pass. Nameless Fetus, pass. Beauty and the Beast, pass. Plague Doctor is a pass. One White Knight is a pass. That's not even an abnormality. Rudolph a pass. Queen Bee's a pass. Bloodbath is a pass. You're gonna see a lot of pass, chat. Well, cheers, pass. Alryun, smash. Forsaken Murderer, pass. Child of the Galaxy, pass. Punishing Bird, smash. Little Red Riding Hooded Mercenary, smash. Big and Tubby Bad Wolf, smash. Bald is Awesome, pass. Fragment of the Universe, smash. Depend on the form. Crumbling Armor, pass. Judgment Bird, smash. Apocalypse Bird, smash. King of Greed, smash. The Little Prince, pass. Letitia, pass. Funeral of the Dead Butterflies, pass. Nair Fry Shoots, pass. Dream of a Black Swan is a smash, actually. Dreaming Current, pass. Burrowing Heaven, pass. Night of Despair, smash. The Nakedness, pass. Mountain of Smiling Bodies, pass. Schadenfreude, pass. Heart of Aspiration, pass. This is just paper. Flesh Idol, pass. Giant Tree Set, pass. No, I said pass. Mirror, pass. Shelter from the 27th of March, pass. Is that Fairy Festival? Pass. Meat Lantern, pass. We can change anything, pass. The Train, pass. Scarecrow, pass. Diffraction Variant, pass. Censored is a smash. Yeah, I'd pass Smiling Bodies. We wouldn't. The Skin Prophecy, pass. Portrait of Another World, pass. Today's Shy Look, pass. Blue Star, pass. White House, it's a room. What do you want me to do? We can change it. Wait. You Must Be Happy, pass. Luminous Bracelet, pass. Behavior Adjustment, pass. I don't even remember the name of this thing, but it's a pass. Porcubus, smash. Void Dream, smash. Everybody's just saying bro because I saw it caught up to censored. Grave of Cherry Blossoms, pass. Fiery Bird, smash. Yin, smash. Yang, smash. Doesn't have a leg kink? Why would I? Wait, what abnormality are you even saying that to? Oh, Blue Star, right. Backward Clock, pass. El Llanto de la Luna, pass. Army and Block, pass. Bode, I'm Welsh? Excuse me? Bode is a pass. The Hypocrite Tree, pass. Melting Love, I mean smash. Clouded Monk, pass. Oh, that's Hammer of Light. Price of Silence is a pass? Hammer of Light is a pass. Is this Poor Screenwriter's Note? Is that what it's called? I know nothing about this. It's just a book. Is this one? Is this the one that didn't carry over from the thing? Because I genuinely don't know what it is. Pass, I guess. Nosferatu is a smash. Silent Girl, pass. Servant of Wrath, pass. The Road Home, pass. What is its name? Scaredy Cat, pass. Pinocchio's a pass. Jester of Nile, pass. Ozma, pass. The Adult Who Tells Lies, pass. Ebony Queen's Apple, pass. Doomsday Calendar, pass. Golden Apple, pass. You Must Become Strong, pass. Pink Shoes, pass. Baba Yaga, pass. These are not abnormalities, but I'll put them all in pass because that's where they belong. Headless Ichthus, smash. Tell Alleyway Watchdog, smash. Blubbering Toad. Smash. KQE is a pass. My Form Empties is a pass. Ardor Blossom Moth, smash. Hey, Tim. Hurting Teddy Bear, pass. Heavenly Executor's Scribe, pass. Spiral of Contempt. Smash. Rising Ashes. Nobody knows the name of this thing. Pass. Nymph, pass. Wailing Coffin, pass. What is this thing's name? Legitimately, what is this thing's name? I don't know what it's called. I am literally being quizzed on the Abno names. Like, especially the ones that don't have, yeah. Paper Chairman? It's called Paper Michael. Okay, pass. Sorry. Scarlet Wayfarer, pass. Skin Prophet, smash. Drifting Fox, smash. So That No One Will Cry, pass. Brazen Bull, pass. Fairy Gentleman, pass. Sign of Roses, pass. Ambling Pearl, pass. Drenched Gossipium, pass. Wayward Passenger, pass. Phantom Pain? What is it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's a pass. Monkey Tree, pass. What's the what for? I don't... Jacket Gun Guy, pass. Trapped in Heaven is a pass. Blue-ish Star is a pass. I actually don't know what it's called. I think it's like Spider Couple or something like that, but it's a pass. Steam Transport Machine, smash. Electric Sheep? Dreaming Electric Sheep, smash. You can't pass on Wayward Passenger? Actually, I can. Hole in the Men is what it's called. Yeah, that's not helping. Shock Centipede, pass. Or smash. Will You Play is a pass. Fey Lantern is a pass. Pagoda Veneration, pass. Today's Expression is the name. Is it, Yesterday's Expression, I think is literally what it's called, but pass. Drunkard, pass. Laughing Skull, I don't know what this is called either, but pass. 400 Roses is what this one is called, and the answer is pass. I don't know what this is called, but pass. Little Helper, again, pass. Old Man, pass. Star Prophet, I don't know what it's called, pass. Centipede Prophet. Oh, it's Tomorrow's Expression. Pass. Fourth Front of the Smoke War, pass. I don't know what this thing is called, it gives employee card, pass. Heavenly Executor's Throne, pass. Dimensional Oxidation variant, pass. Funeral of a Dying Butterfly, pass. There Shoots, pass. Overdue Assignments, pass. Centaur, pass. Hydra, pass. What's this thing called? Drinking Bird? Something like that? It's a pass either way. Man in a Pot, pass. Don't know what this is, pass. Bacillus Soup, smash. Very Long Legs, pass. Why is My Form Empties in here twice? What? Who knows, but it's still a pass. Gluttony Pecatula, pass. Wrath Pecatula, pass. Sloth Pecatula, pass. Gloom Pecatula, pass. Lust Pecatula, pass. Dream Devouring Silt Current, that's a smash. Time Duck, pass. What's this thing called? I don't know, but it's a pass. Bones, pass. Sleeping Bag of Another Dimension is a pass. I think that's its name. The Sinners and Their Ego? Well, the problem is I already did that. King in Binds is a pass. Handshake of Handshakes is a pass. Portrait of a Certain Day is a pass. Fallen Angel or something? Pass. Cyclops is a pass. The Bell is a pass. That's its name? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know what this is, but it's a pass. Citizen of Metropolaris is a pass. Sandolph is a pass. Kim is a pass. Pecatulum Irae Tier 2, pass. Pecatulum Goulet Tier 2, smash. Pecatulum... pass. Pass again. pass again, and Distorted Heathcliff is a smash. There you go, I did it. I will not be explaining myself. I told you that was gonna go really fast. You got so many names wrong? Well, none of them have been shown in-game in the English version, so... I diagnose you with furry? This is not a secret. Based, by the way. Some fish and dogs, and also the sheep. Yep, Welsh. Alright. Not even of Welsh descent. Okay, I'm pausing the music. I'm ending the stream chat. So, thank you for watching this train wreck of a stream. I appreciate it. I don't know when the next stream is gonna be, but it won't be this, so you don't need to worry about that. I might stream some Nine Souls. Why did I come back and it became such a fast Abno stream? Don't worry about it. I think Bloodbath would be in Smash. Yeah, you can make the list yourself. Nobody's stopping you. But I appreciate you for watching. And I will not be explaining at all any of this. So I hope you have a good rest of your week. I hope you have a good rest of your day. No, I will not give you $15. Were there some left? Those are the Wonder Lab Abnos, which we're not allowed to do. So, yeah, have a good rest of your day. Bye. I'm gonna go do something else.